All right, I'm jumping right in just because state of play is happening. I'll play my intro probably after it's over or something like that. We'll see how it goes. But right now, get the sound going. Here we go. Looks like Phantom Blade 0 is what they're starting us out with. So, here we go.
Hello everyone, I'm Donnie Yen, creative consultant for Phantom Blade
Just gonna
0.
switch up my setup here.
Or Yuan, a formidable martial arts master. I want players around
All
the
right.
world to enter our wuxia world driven by old grudges, shifting alliances, and the confrontations that forge its legends.
This
Rooted in
guy
the
fucking looks
traditions
goofy
of
as hell.
Chinese martial arts,
He
Phantom
looks like
Blade 0 embraces
he kind of looks like he's like an Elvis lookalike,
cultural
Korean
elements
Elvis
to create
lookalike,
a
right?
new aesthetic we call Kung Fu Punk.
Yeah, this dude, I got no interest in this fucking game. I'm gonna be real, guys. I could give two shits. It's just another fucking Souls-like reskin. Like, I don't know how anybody's not tired of this. And look at this effeminate ass-looking man. Man-child, fucking whatever. What? The chat is just roasting the shit out of Sony. Oh man, Sony, poor Sony, not poor Sony. Fuck you, Sony. Yeah, so I've been absentee for a minute here. A lot of work bullshit that I'm sorting out, that I was sorting out, that I'm in the midst of sorting out, but it's getting better. So hopefully I'm gonna have some regular days off. I want to start streaming every Sunday. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about Phantom Blade, pussy face, don't care. I might close the chat over here. I don't know.
Hi
It
everyone,
depends.
I'm Soulframe, the creator and director of Phantom Blade 0.
Yeah, I don't care.
Today, I'm inviting you into our universe, a dark wuxia epic filled with mystery,
I don't give a shit, dude.
vendettas, and lightning-fast wordplay.
Oh, cool. Is there a parry button?
You play as Soul, once the world's most
That's a
feared
fucking
blade.
Soul is your name? Okay, cool, man.
After being set up for your leader's murder, you are betrayed by the people you once fought beside.
Yeah, cool. Sounds like Ninja Scroll.
In the final duel against your childhood blood brother, Zuo Shang, the
Brother.
blade is driven through
Your
your
childhood brother.
Let's get started
Dude,
already.
the chat is destroying. Just spamming the disc emote over and
The
over.
mysterious healer, the
And
fast doctor,
turds.
restores your life.
D3
but with a fatal
discs,
condition.
no physical, no
You have
buy,
exactly
no
66
discs,
days
no
to live.
disc, no PS6, physical, no disc, no buy. Oh man, this is what I wanted to
Survival
talk
means
about
fighting
today.
the
I almost
killer
didn't
in
stream.
the chaos
I was like
but the
gonna
hunt
put it
will
off
force you to
again,
confront the rod beneath
and
your betrayal and the skin massive
and then
enough
I
to
looked
break
at my
the
phone and it was
entire
10
Wu
minutes
Lin.
to the state of play, and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna stream. Don't
The
care.
Wu Lin is a martial underworld forged in blood and
I honestly
bleed.
I don't care about this, man. This is
You
what
will
I'm gonna
walk
do.
among the last guardians of righteousness, the fallen whose arrival
Just for the purposes of starting it off right, you know? And we're back. Okay. I just wanted to run the intro for editing purposes later, in case I decide to, you know, cut something,
Phantom
do something.
World is a stage for the style we call Kung Fu Punk.
Kung Fu Punk.
Kung Fu collides with steampunk machinery and body modification.
Uh-huh.
Your journey takes you through intricate but surreal landscapes, leading you deep into the heart of Pengzhen and its surrounding villages, valleys, lakes, and shadowed territories, including a valley overrun by ruthless bandits, an abandoned warehouse filled
I might
with
check this
hanging
out if
puppets,
it's not a Souls-like.
where a dark ritual seems to be taking place.
That's pretty much where I'm at with it.
A steam-powered iron tower built for some kind of dark experiment. And a vast lake, which Soul must navigate aboard a peculiar high-speed vessel.
This is giving me some
Your journey
some
is guided
Resident Evil
by
4
eight
vibes here
authentic
when you get to the
hand-painted
swamp.
Chinese ink wash maps.
Or Res 5.
complex
I think you did a little
regions,
bit in
they
Res
offer
4
only a
right
rough
about.
sense
I'm thinking of
direction,
Res 5.
leaving you to explore and uncover hidden secrets. These maps seamlessly connect into a single world, where bells enable fast
This
travel
looks cool. I
between
mean, if there's a
discovered
physical
locations.
version of it, I'll play it. It'd be cool if they drop it for the Switch
Phantom
too.
Blade
Because at this
Zero
point,
is not an open world
I mean,
game, nor is it a linear adventure
I don't know,
from
man.
beginning
I'm
to end.
mostly just buying Switch 2
Instead,
non-key
every
card
corner
games
has
at this
been
point.
meticulously handcrafted,
And I've
filled
honestly
with
been spending my
countless
money on like
surprises
Sega
and
CD
secrets
games.
waiting to be discovered.
Which I do want to buy Lunar before the end of the month.
discover
Lunar,
hidden enemies,
complete the
side
box
quests,
is my
rare
next hope.
treasures, and crucial story clues.
All right, for one real quick moment, I'm just gonna shut myself
Phantom
away
Blade
here
Zero,
so I can post a
combat is the
thumbnail.
driving force. Every weapon
Yeah,
is
I'm not
forged from martial
particularly.
folklore,
I don't
cinematic
really
legacy,
give a shit
and
about
ancient tradition. Soul wields a massive
this at all.
arsenal of 30 primary weapons alongside 25 secondary weapons known as Phantom Edges. For example, the Drunken Sword style builds drunken energy, enhancing Soul's evasiveness while swaying and staggering with every strike. The White Serpent and Crimson Viper twin blades work in tandem. The length of the White Serpent allows you to fling the Crimson Viper outward for ranged attacks.
Oh man, this it almost sounds like a
Fluid steel
PC
of
is
the
like
soft snake sword
speaking for
coils
this
around
guy.
an opponent's guard, striking targets cleanly and even slicing through incoming thread-based attacks mid-air. However, a light
Alright,
blade
looks like I
won't
got
be
my
enough
thumbnail.
against heavy shields, and relying on swords alone will turn the fight into a punishing struggle.
Alright, cool.
Crushing those
Looks like everything's
defenses
working
requires
well.
the brutal momentum of iron fists and hammers.
Beautiful. Live stream ago. Doing
The
excellent
Tiger
right now.
Cannon can blast apart
I whipped
distant
this shit up in like
enemy
5
formations
minutes and
with a
it's been
single
like
shot,
over a month since I've
or
put together a
ignite
live stream. Usually I have more
self-destructing
technical
enemies before they
difficulties
get
than this.
close.
But I'm getting better at it actually. I've got a better hand. Like there's a
And
few
when
things I
bladed
didn't
weapons
understand
forge
why I was
forward
running into
against a
particular
swarm of
problems.
savage dogs,
Um,
flames spewing
and
flaming
then I just
makes a
realized
quick war
little
of the
details I was overlooking in some of the interface and configuration menus. And little
Mastery
glitches that
goes
happen
far
when
deeper
plugging and
than basic
unplugging.
attributes.
The major thing is like when I try to move my rig to the living room.
Upgrading a weapon
The cool
unlocks
thing
distinct
about
forms
doing
and
my whole
techniques,
channel on a Steam
carving
Deck
out a
is I
unique
can like
combat
I
philosophy.
just have to bring my little capture card and I can pretty much set myself up anywhere. Anywhere. So I can go to the living room, play my shit out there, or be in my office and run whatever in here. The only thing is though is like maybe I'll get good enough to be able to hot swap stuff, different consoles. Like let's say if I want to stop watching this and start playing NES, usually the audio will get like fucked up somehow, but I think I should be able to fix it nowadays. We'll see. Oh yeah, WeChat is still just wildly spamming no disc, no buy, which I support it, 100%. I'd be spamming the same shit actually, but
We've crafted difficulty
I'm
options as
not that.
distinct ways to experience the story. Wayfarer mode is intuitive and cinematic,
Where's that
letting
emote,
anyone
that
feel
disc
like a
emote
kung
at?
fu master.
Gotta do my part.
But for those seeking a true challenge, Hellwalker mode
that's
brings in
funny.
core fighting game mechanics. Bosses won't rely on fixed patterns. They react to your spacing, punish your whiffs, and adapt to your habits in real time.
Lord, I don't give a shit. Travel, activities, objects. Here we go. There it is. Let's spam that. There we go. Just doing my part here,
For the
guys.
ultimate test,
Boom.
unlock 66 days
Spammed.
mode. Unlike the other difficulty settings, this mode turns Soul's 66-day countdown into a literal gameplay timeline.
I gotta say, my thumbnail turned out pretty good. I like it.
It features the intensity of Hellwalker, but every defeat costs you precious time. If the clock hits 0, it is permanent.
I like the music, I guess. This is the music of Phantom Blade Zero, but I don't know, man. I just don't give a shit.
Our ultimate goal is to draw from the deep well of authentic Chinese folk
Big
arts and
well.
martial arts,
We draw from the
infusing
big
them into
well.
the sleek, visceral aesthetic we call Kung Fu Punk. To show you what
Kung
that
Fu
looks
Punk.
like in motion, please take a
They're
look
like
at
trying
this
really hard
boss
to like
encounter.
invent a new genre, but it's not gonna work for me. Would you have to like paint on this thing to fight it? It's like a, I don't know. So it's like two dudes that you're fighting, I guess. I don't even understand what's going on right now. Yeah, this looks like Dark Souls. Except it's like parry, dodge roll the game. Parry, deflect, dodge roll the game. I'm like just so tired of this kind of shit, man. I don't want like some hyper realistic dark fantasy insert fucking part of the earth time setting here. Like, I'm tired of this fucking horse shit. I want to play some video games that feel like video games, dude. I want to play like a mystery dungeon game. I want to play like let's advance that genre. I want some new different types of racing games. I want some games with spaceships and shit. I want like a new type of fighting game. I want a new type of racing fighting combat game that isn't just fucking Mario Kart. Like, there's so many genres that they're just like, I mean, when's the last time we had like a truly good puzzle game? Like Volterra, whatever. I fucking low-key hate cards. If it's like actual playing cards, I don't care. Like, fuck that shit. I don't give a shit. This is boring, dude. I don't care about this. Like, why wouldn't you just play Sekiro? Like, I don't even want to play Sekiro. I never did. Wasn't interested. Didn't care. By that time, I was like Dark Souls fatigued, pretty much. I couldn't even finish Elden Ring, man. I got like 70 hours into that shit. Cause like, I like to do everything, and in those open world games, I'm usually more interested in exploration than I am in like the nuance of like meditative combat. And after like 70 hours, I was just like tired of fighting. I was tired of the fighting. There's nothing else to do in Elden Ring other than fight. It's like you have to fight something to get a piece of equipment that's worth a damn. I know that some shit's just lying around, but not typically. Not everything you want. And like the entire game, you like the whole game, all there is to do is fight. And I bet you this game's similar. It's like all these Souls games, there's no role playing to it. And it's like they think that something basically constitutes being a role playing game when your character has stats and susceptibilities and resistances. Like that's supposed to be it's a role playing game now because there's stats. It's like, no dude, like it would be interesting to actually have some kind of story to follow, you know? Like maybe make a decision or two that might fucking matter. I don't know. Some kind of investment. Like you don't want to read equipment descriptions to like infer the story. That shit that was cool when Dark Souls came out. That was about it. And for me, Dark Souls and Demon Souls was as far as like I needed to go with all of that shit. I didn't need Dark Souls 2. I didn't need Dark Souls 3. I didn't need Bloodborne. I know, blasphemy, but I didn't need it. I didn't need any of those other games. Sorry. Still don't. Pretty much when it all fell apart for me was Bloodborne. Like I finished, I introduced my neighbor to Demon Souls, and then from there, it's like he and I played through all the Souls games together. Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 we played through together. Dark Souls 3 we played through together. And then Bloodborne came out.
Glimpse of Phantom Blade Zero.
And
much more for you to explore, and
I lost interest. I got like 40 some hours into the game. I probably wasn't very far off from the end, but my neighbor ended up beating it. I didn't finish it. I didn't care. And that was it. That was the end for me for Souls games. Like I played Elden Ring, but I only played it just because like everybody was playing it and nothing else really came out at the time. It was supposed to be one of the best ever. And yeah, it was whatever.
Channel it into a steel.
This guy's ridiculous.
Turning any blade into a divine weapon. That's the path to know. Pre-order now.
Pre-order now, he says. So goofy. Yeah, okay. Anything else? Or is this whole state of play just Phantom Zero Blade? I hope not. If it is, I mean that's fine, but I'll just like go on with the show. I got plenty to talk about at this point. In fact, I'll go fetch my little book that I wrote everything down in. All right. What else? That was it. Ah, there we go. Was that? There's nothing else? Wow. That was it, huh? State of Play deep dive. That's hilarious, because I completely didn't give a shit about that. Well, that was pretty funny. Just checking out the State of Play for Phantom Zero Blade. Waited 40, I don't know, 48 minutes long, and what was that, like maybe 10 minutes or something? Totally not worth it. Totally don't give a shit. Okay, well, that was kind of an interesting way to start the stream. I guess I can formally say greetings, friends. JELLORD here, coming at you with another one of these bullshit streams here that most likely nobody will watch. And I'm fine with that, because I do it for myself. And it helps me structure my hobby. And I have a reason to create these sweet, sweet sweet AI generated tunes for you all to listen to in the background while I talk out of my ass. So I guess it's probably a good thing that the State of Play kind of lit a fire under my ass and got me on here, because I keep procrastinating, and it should have been on here like a while ago, because I do want to grow my little channel, and I lost a couple subscribers, which, sorry guys, you went away. I know, I wasn't putting anything out, so I don't blame you. Oh, let's see, what do we got? So, I've said hello. Say where I've been, yeah. So, pretty much the last time I ran a stream, I was working as a caterer, as a catering chef, and there was a lot of bullshit. And basically, long story short, stopped doing it. And I'm not going to get into details about it. It was a bunch of bullshit. Wasn't making enough money. Found another job almost instantly. So, like within 2 hours of not working at the other place, I found a new job. So it's perfect. And I'm already making more money. So that's a lesson, kids. Don't be afraid to make a move. If you can make a move, don't be afraid to make a move. That's truly some words to live by here. Like, always, don't ever give up what you have, but always look for something better. Always be on the look for something better, and just like keep your options open. Because probably a while ago I should have stopped doing what I was doing, because it made me miserable. And it was like one of those jobs that was consuming most of my free time. Which brings me back to the topic of, where the fuck was I? I was working on this stupid bullshit like every day, but now that I have a regular job that I just only have to worry about on the days that I actually work, I'll have more time to focus on my little channel here and stuff, which will be cool. Some of the stuff that I kind of want to talk about, particularly the primary topic, which was nicely illustrated by what we saw there during the stupid-ass State of Play for Phantom Zero Blade, but everybody was spazzing out about no discs, and rightly so, because they're taking the disc, boys. That's the biggest thing that has happened since I've been missing from the internet here. So that's the main topic I want to cover. And I mean, beyond the PlayStation no discs, I'm going to go into, where that's going to leave physical gamers. I want to talk a little bit about the price surges that we're looking at and where I think that's going to go. I also want to talk about my experience with the Switch 2 so far, because I've only had one for, I don't know, I think I'm going on like 3 or 4 months or something like that I've had a Switch 2. So I do want to like give my thoughts on that. And after that, I'm going to talk a little bit about anime and maybe talk a little bit about some of the movies that are playing right now, what games I'm playing right now. And I'm going to cover like my pickups, you know, and that's pretty much going to cover the whole live stream for me. So yeah, Phantom Zero Blade. I don't give a shit. I truly don't give a fuck. It looks like another Souls-like clone. They said it wasn't an open world game, so it looks like it maybe is like an open area game, which whatever, I can get behind that. I prefer open area games nowadays over open world games, to be perfectly honest. So I'm not gonna gripe about that. The other thing, I think, I mean, it said PlayStation 5, so we'll probably get a disc version of it, which is fine, I guess. I mean, whatever. I don't know, man. I don't really have an interest in the game. Don't fucking give a shit. I'd rather play through Snatcher again. How's that sound? I'm gonna do that soon whenever my fucking Super Station 1 shows up. Still haven't gotten the Super Station 1. And you know, we're under 100 days for the AES Plus to come out. I have this feeling inside that I'm going to end up getting my AES Plus before I get my fucking Super Station, dude. Because this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to get the Super Station 1. I wanted to do a playthrough of Panzer Dragoon on the channel. And then I wanted to do a playthrough of Snatcher on the channel. Because both of those games, even if I do everything in Panzer Dragoon, 15 hours. Which means I could beat the game in like four sessions, you know, 4 like 3-hour sessions, one 4 or 5 hour, whatever. Basically, I could do it in like 4 or 5 sessions. Same goes for Snatcher. I can beat that game in like 10 hours. I would love to do a playthrough of both of those just to kind of expose that, like, out of the box. The Super Station, you can just play Sega CD and Sega Saturn games on it. And then I would like to start playing through some of my PS1 collection on there as well. Completely revisit my PS1 collection. Finish, like, it'd be a great place for me to start my backlog, honestly, because like I have a backlog for every console, which is totally intentional. I built a backlog. I keep and maintain a backlog for every console because I want to be able to just like walk up to my collection at any point and just have a new game to play. Or have a game I haven't finished a million times for that particular console. So I do have a backlog for every console, and I'm proud of it. I'm going to keep a backlog till I fucking die, probably. And it's fine. I don't have to beat them all, but I can try. Yeah. So, like, that's where I'm at with it. I can't wait for the stupid-ass Super Station 1 to come so I can start working my... Like, I love my PS1 games. One game that I've been really playing hard lately is Azure Dreams on the Game Boy Color. And I want to revisit... That's a game on the PS1, man, that, like, I got to, like, the 30th floor once in the game. Got a glimpse at the main baddie, and, like, immediately lost. Had to go back down. So it's, like, one of those games, like, I never really got into the fusion very much into the game. Like, I didn't try fusing my monsters because that shit was, like, beyond me at the time as a kid, and we didn't really have access to the internet. So it was, like, there's a lot of pitfalls in that game if you fuck up the fusion system. So that's definitely a must if you want to make some serious progress. All right, so I think I'm gonna like just try to find something to cycle in the background while I'm talking about Lordy, pardon me, I'm yawning and shit. I'm trying to find something to run in the background while I talk about random bullshit here while I talk about PlayStation being bullshit. And let's see. I'm just gonna go in here. Here's the move. Here's the move. I gotta move right here. Perfect. There, I'll just have some stock footage of me playing Kingsfield in the background while I talk about this. So, Sony is getting rid of physical media, man. And this is like going to have bigger ramifications, I think, than just getting rid of physical discs. And I've been saying this, and like some people have started to catch on more and talk about it. Like, it's the beginning of basically what the WEF wanted to begin with. Like, what was that guy's name? Grant Schwab, or whatever the hell his name is, one of the head guys in the WEF. He was famously quoted as saying, you know, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. And a lot of people quote that now, and I don't think they realize that it's him. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe it isn't him and I'm just remembering it wrong, but whatever, it's not really super important. But the whole idea of owning nothing, they already got us, man. They got us a while ago with music and movies, right? They basically effectively took that shit away from us. I mean, yeah, people that will try to argue to the contrary, they'll say like, oh, no, you can still buy movies, you can still buy music. But the thing is like they destroyed that industry. There's an old clip that was going around for a long time where Matt Damon was talking about like, basically why you can't do romantic comedies anymore. Like you can't do rom-coms, and they used to, and it's his like favorite type of movie, but you can't do it anymore because you just can't sell tickets to something like that. And the reality was, back at the time, he said, was you wouldn't make your money in the box office, but once it went to DVD, or before that VHS, you would make it up in DVD and VHS sales of people buying the DVD and VHS release respectively, or even up to Blu-ray. That's when it started to fall out, I guess, I would say for sure. But like, that's how they would make it viable. And because of the advent of streaming, it completely decimated the sales for DVDs. So suddenly they were kind of stuck having to make the majority of their money in theaters. And they're still suffering from that. They're still suffering from the case that, and you know, it's one of those things they kind of shot themselves in the foot. Because like they're never going to make enough money off streaming. And now that they're trying to bring that back in many ways, where what they'll do is they'll make the movie available sooner on a streaming platform for like $20 to watch it one time. And granted, maybe for some reason, like people, and I've done it in the past, like I've definitely spent the $20 to see a movie that was just in theaters to avoid going to the theater to see it sooner. And I think, yeah, there's definitely a market for that, but it's pretty lame that they're just charging you $20 to watch it. You have to like finish watching it in under a certain amount of days. I think you have like 4 days or some shit. I can't remember. I don't do it very often, but that's not like back in the day. The incentive to buy the DVD afterwards was like, well, either you didn't see it at all in theaters, so you bought the DVD. And then that was something that you could bring it to a friend's house and be like, hey man, want to watch a movie? I just picked up blah, blah, blah that just came out in the theaters, and it just dropped on DVD finally like I'll come by, bring it with me, we'll watch a movie, get a pizza, drink a 6-pack. Wow. And it was worth the 25, 20, 25, even $30, man, to get it on DVD, because you could watch it as many times as you want it. You could bring it to any one of your friends' houses. If you watched it in theaters and you liked it, you could fucking own it. Watch it as many times as you wanted. Share it with friends as much as you wanted. If you didn't like it in theaters, you didn't have to buy it. Also, if you didn't manage to get to the theater to see it, you could borrow, like one of your friends could loan you the DVD once they had it. You could end up watching it. You might end up liking it and decide you'd like to add it to your collection. So you buy it. Like, even as like a teenager, man, like when movies were coming out and it was predominantly VHS, like I still have my VHS collection, but I started a VHS collection as a fucking teenager, man. Like, big part of it was because it was hard to come by anime. So like, we would have to like buy the anime VHSs and Blu-rays because otherwise there was no other way to see anime. So we were already like predisposed to buying physical media because like that was the only way you could get anime at the time. You had to own it physically. And so very few rental places had anime sections because like it was all considered adult, and there had to be stickers on it. Some video stores even had like the anime in the porn section, like in the adult video section, be all the porn and then like anime there. And like not a lot of places, I mean, there was in my hometown, there was a couple places that sold or that rented out anime, which was cool. Like, and the video store owner to the spot we went to is called Captain's Video. Like, the captain would, even though he knew we were underage, he would let us rent the anime, which was cool. Like, and that was an awesome experience to be able to do that. But yeah, like back at that time, I mean, I'm kind of getting off topic a little bit, but back to what like Matt Damon was saying, it's like they took those sales away and Hollywood kind of shot themselves in the foot with streaming, you know? So it's like the same sort of thing I think is going to happen with the video game market. I think that they're trying to play make-believe really hard about like how many people actually care about physical sales or actually care about physical media. They're trying to gaslight us into thinking that a very small percentage of like purchases are physical. But if you break the math down, you completely ignore all the games that don't have a physical release and are only digital, remove that from the equation. And then you only look at games that have released physically and digitally. The breakdown, I've heard figures, and I haven't worked this myself. I'd like to find some numbers, find a way to work it, at least in an isolated case. But like, I've heard numbers close to like 44% of sales of games that have released both physically and digitally, 44% of the sales are physical. So it's almost half the sales are physical for people when it comes to games that have a physical and a digital release. Not only that, this isn't counting for people who double dip, which I know a lot of people double dip. A lot of people buy digital and physical shit. Final Fantasy 16 I double dipped. Armored Core 6 I double dipped. Like, there's so many games that I double dipped for. It's retarded. Like Daemon X Machina, I double dipped. I bought it for the PS5 and for the Switch too. Like, and in some cases, all of the Front Mission games, I bought them digitally because they came out first. And I bought them physically because the physical release wasn't until later. And lo and behold, I'm still waiting on Front Mission 3 to fucking come out from Limited Run. Limited Run is such horseshit, dude. Speaking of which, like, here we go. Limited Run, I canceled my copy of R-Type Delta HD Boosted. Fucking canceled that shit ages ago. from limited run because I knew that it was just going to get a release somewhere else. And I showed you guys, I showed you this on one of my last live streams where I was bitching about physical media again, even before leading up to this bullshit. But I was bitching about limited run. But yeah, like I said, I showed you guys, and there it is. You can get yourself a copy, and it's fucking awesome, dude. I love everything about this game. Like the cover art is so epic. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that, dude. Like it goes so hard. Yeah, everything about it. Plus, dude, like, come on. Physical media comes with a fucking manual, okay? Take me back to the days of yore, and it's like such an awesome, cutesy little manual too, like the size of something you would have gotten with the Game Boy back in the day, you know? But look at this, man. Full color manual, dude. Like, explaining the name of the game, explaining all the ships. Little synapse of every level, dude. Like, this is what it was about, man. This is what it was about. Yeah, awesome. Talk about physical release with a fucking instruction manual. And let take a look. Show you some more. 2 games by Marvelous, right? Scion of Darkness, or Titan of Darkness. I keep thinking of the Magic card. No, I'm Guardians of Asma. Check it out. Fucking comes with a manual, dude. Colored manual. Okay. These are the companies. These are the companies we need to give our money to. And guess what? Guardians of Asma, probably the best Rune Factory game to date, if you ask me. Fucking awesome game. Between that and here we are with Titanic Scion. There we go. Manual. Physical game. Whole thing is on the cart. Manual. And damn, dog. Dude, always doing this crazy bullshit out here. All right. As I was saying, my computer was doing some crazy shit in my Steam Deck. Full colored manual. I mean, Marvelous is doing it right, dude. I'm gonna buy all their games. I mean, I'll talk a little bit about Daemon X Machina as I'm going along here, but yeah, so I'm gonna like half of Sony's, I'm gonna say half the games that they release that are physical and digital, pretty much half of the sales are physical, and they're gonna feel that, man, because like me, after PS5 generation, I'm done. I'm gonna stick it out with the Switch 2. I mean, look behind me, man. I got shelves and shelves of fucking games. And I would keep on buying. You know, like, I'm the type of person, I'm like fucking 40. I have an adult job. And I mean, I'm a collector and shit. I don't have any kids or anything. So it's like, my income just goes to my hobbies besides what I need to live, right? And the funny thing is that they've spent so much time like turning their backs on people like me, like the people that have been basically giving them like 25% of their paycheck for the last 30 years. And they tried to like get rid of people like me. And you know what? They finally succeeded, I think. Like, Sony finally succeeded in getting rid of me Took them 5 generations of gaming consoles, but they finally fucking got rid of me. Kudos to them. It took them a lot of work. I mean, I got about 50, 60 PS1 games, about 70 to 80 PS2 games, 40 PS3 games, 60 PS4 games, 40 PS5 games, and probably 30 PSP games. I'd fighting them tooth and nail, bought all those games from them, and they were sick of it. They were sick of me buying all that fucking shit. And they finally fucking got rid of me. My menacing ass, my stupid menace ass, buying all the shit they were selling. God forbid I want it on a goddamn disc. And this gets me to my point here. Like, this is just the beginning of the problem. It's just the tip of the iceberg. The PS6, what is it going to have? Like a 256 gig internal drive? Like 500 gig maybe? Probably 500 gig. I doubt it'll have a terabyte internal drive. I'd be surprised if they did. It should have like a 10 terabyte drive is what it should have. And even that wouldn't really feel like enough. But like, that's going to be a problem because SSD is expensive. And if you look into it, which I have, and feel free to go fact check me. I think I looked it up on Gemini. I was looking up basically how, like, what's cheaper, to store your games on SSD or to store your games on Blu-ray disc right now. And right now the figures are 2 cents per gig on a Blu-ray and 20 cents per gig on SSD. So it's literally 10 times, costs 10 times as much. And here's the thing, when we're in this all digital future, none of us is going to be able to afford enough drive space to actually even have all of our games on the drive. So like, what does it even mean to own any of that shit anyway if you can't even have it all at once? Like, you just gonna like rely on them not to delist any of the games you own in their own database, and they're just gonna make those available for download forever? We've already seen that they don't do that. So, and on top of that, you're never gonna have enough room to store all your shit yourself. I mean, the only way you're gonna be able to do it are people who are using like GOG and like ripping their own discs, which I've seen some people already starting to do stuff like that, which is cool and stuff, and that'll be a way to have your games physically. But I mean, really the best you're going to be able to do is have like a bunch of external storage for like your PC or something like a Steam Deck or whatever you're using. Just having a bunch of external storage, like is that what they're going to sell us then? Like, they're just going to sell us external drives for these new consoles so that we'll have enough space to put all of our games? Is that going to be the next? And then how much are those going to cost? Like, all the memory is going to be so fucking expensive. And that leads me to my next point. They're going to take all this shit away. The disc is just the beginning. They're going to take everything away. They're going to take the hardware next. Like, right now they're taking storage, and they're still going to leave processing power in regular people's hands, I think, for a little while. But they've pretty much taken storage already, and everything else is going to go to AI. They're going to force us into cloud gaming, and then they're going to force us into cloud computing. And basically all we're going to have is an account and a panel and the internet and a controller. That's going to be the big thing, I guess. Different companies selling you their controllers at that point. That's going to be all the hardware. Like, what other hardware? What difference does it make? Like, I guess Sony could sell you TVs. And what's like Xbox going to do? It's just going to be an app. Xbox is going to be a storefront. Sony's going to be a storefront. And I think Nintendo will be the last ones. They'll hold out. They won't be a storefront. I think even if they get rid of physical media, they're going to have some kind of gimmick with their console that is going to keep it where they're going to have exclusive titles because of some kind of interface that it'll just make it exclusive, kind of like with the Wii U or the mouse interface, whatever. They're going to find some way, or just like the modularity of it, the fact that you can play it on TV or whatever. I mean, I'm sure since they're going to get rid of so much of the internal hardware, it'll be easy for companies like Sony to put something out that's very similar to the PlayStation Portal, and that's effectively your console, and it'll be like the Switch. They'll probably, and that's the thing, it's just going to be a panel, and all of it's going to be cloud computing, which I think is bullshit, because like, oh, if there's bad weather or if your internet is down, like, you just can't play games. And the way they'll probably try to get around that is like, maybe they'll have some local, I doubt it though. I really don't think, like, I don't know how they could work around the fact that there's just going to be hardly any internal storage space for users. It's pretty bleak. Like, they're going to take computers away altogether. Like, they're going to take the PC away altogether and force us into cloud computing. And it goes way beyond just gaming. Yeah, this is just the beginning of it. They want these companies to do it first because, like, they feel like they have us by the balls. And I think they might be wrong, though. And this kind of segues into the next interesting thing that has popped up in the recent days here. Like, where does it leave us as, like, physical gamers, physical collectors? Where does it leave somebody like me who, like, for me, I think like at least half of the hobby is collecting the games for me, and the other half is playing them. So like, it's like, I don't particularly want to get too attached to or play a game too much unless I own it. Like, if I start out by playing a game and I end up really liking it, I'll get it physically, and I'll just wait until I get it physically, and then I'll play through it, rather than finishing it on the digital. Basically, the digital version, I'll buy it as like an expensive demo, and then I'll get the game physically and actually finish it. But yeah, half of it is the actual collecting the physical media and displaying it, putting it on a shelf, having it available, having your library to walk up to and look at and say to yourself, what do I feel like playing today? You know, you don't get that. And the thing is, it's like having a list of fucking games to play. I don't like that shit. That's part of the reason I don't like emulation and doing ROMs, man. It's like channel flipping. It's just like doom scrolling. It's just like flipping through videos. It's like, because it's all available right there and you know it is, the compulsion is just to play each game for a few minutes, and the moment that there's any resistance or it becomes a chore in any way, any of the games, you're just fucking done and you're on to the next one. And then you find yourself just hopping from game to game to game. And that's like back in the day when the PS3 was like the current console. I remember I modded my PS3 and it was cool for a while until I just had too much shit to play on the PS3. Like, and like, I found myself compelled to just beat the games I had physically, because like all the other games that I just uploaded didn't even matter. Like, it was just a bunch of bullshit. It was like, oh, this looks interesting, let me try it. Like, there's no nuance to it, there's no looking into it, learning about it. Trying to determine if you would be interested in it. Like I said, it's just like surfing through Netflix and stuff. The moment that something is no longer capturing your attention at the highest possible level, it's super easy to just be like, done, on to the next thing. And I think the next step for physical games, at least for me, is I'm going to stick it out with the Switch 2, and I'm going to buy anything that they end up releasing that's actually not a key card. And that'll kind of be it. And I'm going to get an Evercade. Like, I pre-ordered the Nexus. So I'll probably start collecting Evercade cards, make a little collection of all the ones I give a shit about, since they're like fucking like 35 to 50 bucks a piece, which is pretty reasonable. I'll probably get Evercade. I'll probably start buying more Incubate games, Game Boy games. I'll probably buy more new releases for like the Sega Genesis and shit. And I'll just start buying new games for retro consoles and focus on that. And I'm only going to buy any games that I can get physically. Like, I'm not buying any more games from digital storefronts, like, at all anymore, period. I'm just going to get physical titles. And if certain games, if there's a game I really want to play on the Switch 2, if there's no way to get it physically, I'm just not going to play it, man. I'm at that point. And I own enough games. It's like the only game that I might fold, and I'm sure I'll find a way to play it when the time comes that won't involve getting a PS6, but it's like the only game I really care about is like wherever the next Armored Core comes up. Like, that's it. And I don't know. I know that From Software is going to go wherever the gamers go. So I'm hoping that they end up developing Armored Core 7 like on the Switch 2. I hope they don't develop it on the PS6. Because, like, you have to wonder, a lot of studios have got it. I wonder how a lot of studios are seeing this backlash against Sony about physical games. Because, like, for me at least, I'd be like, damn, dude, like, do we want to stay on board with Sony if this is the direction that they're going with physical games? Like, like, is this the move, you know? And in some ways, I don't think it's the move, man. I think that they're making a big mistake, man. All right, I'm gonna turn this up just a touch. I'm gonna go grab a water real quick. I'm getting a little parched here. I should have done this ahead of time, but I started the stream so randomly. Yeah, I don't know if I'm cutting out much, but I honestly, part of me is kind of relieved that maybe I can just be done collecting video games, and this will just be like, I won't have to worry about new titles anymore. Because, I don't know, man. The only thing I really care about, the only game I care about is Armored Core. That's it. That's all I care about, man. I don't give a shit about any... I don't really give a shit about any other titles. I only really care about Armored Core. And if it comes out for the PS6, man, I might just like buy a PS6, play Armored Core, and then sell the fucking thing. Who knows? I guess we'll see. We'll see when I have to cross that bridge. But honestly, yeah, that's the only game I can think of that would have me tripping at all about the PS6, which has got me hoping that they release it for the PS5. Oh man. I hope they release it before 2028, I guess. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, just going over, like, Evercade. I'm sure anybody watching, you guys are probably familiar with Evercade. They're keeping it real with the physical. Incubate, great site. sells Game Boy games. That's something I'm going to really be getting into again soon. Strictly Limited's another good website. It's like a UK based, I believe. But that's a good site to check out if you want to avoid limited run and see if there's a different release of a particular game, because you don't want to give limited run money. Good way to go. Mod Retro, same difference. They sell Game Boy games and new games for old consoles. So those are all, this is where us physical gamers can go after this. Not only that, the Neo Geo AES, hopefully, they're going to start releasing new games for that, which would be cool. Let's see. Also, one way to get after it, especially if you're a newer gamer, you can just buy one of the Hyperkin consoles, right? Like the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, or the Nintendo, whatever you want, right? And get some 8-bit DOE wireless controllers. Get the consoles for like $50 each, $45, $50. And then you can get yourself an EverDrive cart with a micro SD. You don't need a big one. You can get a 128. And what you can do is have the entire original library, let's say for the Sega, on your EverDrive cart. And then you can just buy new games from companies like Mod Retro and Strictly Limited, and I guess Limited Run, okay. But yeah, you could theoretically, with like a budget of, let's see, 45, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, like 100 to 120 bucks, have a full setup with a Mega Retron HD, entire Sega Genesis collection on there. And then there's the thing, peruse through there, go through there, play the games, and if there's like one or two games you really fucking love from the original library, or like one series, like let's say it's Streets of Rage, splurge, man. Since you're gonna just have all the fucking games on your EverDrive, buy your favorite ones that you want to have on display. So let's say you buy all 3 of the Streets of Rage games, and maybe the Mortal Kombat games from the original Sega Genesis. Maybe you want Landstalker or the Phantasy Star games. Just get your little curated collection of your handful of your favorites that you can really put on display and show off in your place. And then you'll have the complete library on one cart, and then your little collection of stuff that you get from newer titles that get released, and then just the legacy titles that you really must have physically, And when you're building your little collection, one of those legacy titles costs you $95 or $100, like Phantasy Star, like Phantasy Star 4 might, then that won't seem as bad, since you're not trying to collect the whole fucking library, just your favorites. And that's an easy way to start getting into physical. There's always going to be new Nintendo, Genesis, Super Nintendo games coming out. You go to Mod Retro or get yourself a Chromatic. Do what I did and buy the parts, learn how to do it, refurbish a Game Boy for yourself, modernize it, new display, internalized batteries, rechargeable, USB-C port. Start buying new games for that as well. And the other thing, so everybody, I'm going to move on from that topic. That's just a general suggestion for people how to approach collecting physically going forward here. You can do the same with the N64 too. You can get one of the newer clone consoles, get yourself an EverDrive for it, and then collect your favorite N64 games, the handful that you really want to have, and go from there. Yeah, I think that covers Hyperkin. Yep. So the price surges. I want to talk about that as far as older games. I don't think that the price surges are going to really affect any of the older consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Maybe, I doubt it. I don't even think the N64 prices will really go up that much. The only, I honestly think it's completely isolated to the PS3 and the Xbox 360. And the reason I think so is because Zoomers, those would have been the consoles that they like first started playing as they were like little kids. So like they would have been like, I don't know, they're in their 20s now. I'm not going to get the numbers exactly right, but you know, they would have been like 5, 6, going up to 10 years old when the PS3 was pretty much winding down. So that like they were probably playing a lot of those games leading up to their family owning a PS4, you know, because I'm sure it wasn't a huge priority to buy a PS4 right away for families that weren't big gaming families, like more normie families. So they probably held on to their PS3 for a while, bought a lot of the games cheap after the fact, and just played the shit out of it. So they have like a lot of Zoomers, that is their retro console. Their retro console is the 360 and the PS3. And like, because there's been so many remakes, reboots, HD remasters, a lot of those games, they don't even know what those games were like. Like they vaguely remember those games in their original state. So for them, it's very retro to see like a more lo-fi version of BioShock, you know, other games that they've hitherto since played in HD since growing older. So I think that most of the blowing up is going to be for the PS3 and the 360. I don't foresee it happening to a lot of PS2 games. I also don't think like with the new mod retro and 64 whatever, I don't really think that's going to drive the prices of N64 games up either. I think that, if anything, it might drive up the prices of EverDrives, because that's happened in the past before, where EverDrives got, like, out of control. But at this point, there's, like, knockoff versions of EverDrives and shit like that, so that, yeah. Because I think for a lot of like Zoomers, younger gamers, if they are interested in those older consoles, man, they're just playing on the Switch. They're just playing it on the Switch Online service. Or if they are actually into the hardware side of things, they're going to be like getting something like an EverDrive. Not only that, it's just so many of those games, dude. You can just run that shit on your phone. This is the thing. And the Zoomers love their fucking phones, and so does Gen Alpha. Most of them, what they do is they just buy a controller. You can get just something like this, or a fucking PS4 controller. And you get something like that, you put the emulator on your phone, and then you cast it to your television. And that's how a lot of them are going to play games and avoid a lot of this bullshit, dude. Like, so if they want to play retro games, that's how they're going to do it. And so I'm not too concerned. I think that the prices for certain PS3 games, PS3 exclusives, the prices for those are going to go up. And probably stay up. But that's going to be it. We saw the same thing happen with the PlayStation 2, where all the PlayStation 2 exclusives, the prices are in the $100 plus range. And then everything else is dirt cheap. So I think for the PS3, everything's going to be dirt cheap except for like a handful of the exclusives. So I wouldn't panic too much about the prices. I already bought everything I wanted randomly. I bought all the exclusive RPGs on there and some of the ones that were cheaper. I got like Enchanted Arms, some of the Tales games, Star Ocean, Faithlessness and Integrity, whatever, ridiculous ass names, man. I also got Armored Core 4 and Armored Core 4 Answer, and I got 3D Dot Game Heroes, and I got Plants vs. Zombies, picked up BioShock, I got everything that I could possibly want for the PS3. And I bolstered my collection, just like, it was goofy, it was just a few months ago. I go on rotations where like, I'll be fixated on a certain console and just buying a bunch of games for it and playing it a lot. And then I'll just kind of rotate to the next console on my list of consoles and do the same thing. So yeah, as far as my prediction goes, I would say that some PS3 game prices are going to be going up, but it's not going to be all. And I don't think that this is going to affect other retro games. This market is going to continue to exist, and like, I think if a company like Evercade can be as successful as they are, there's going to be other companies that are going to try to go with physical media. And I really do think that the next company that builds a handheld PC that supports some kind of cheaper physical media, specifically to entice third-party indie developers, like if there was a company that took on the cost of creating all the cartridges for their own console, kind of like how Nintendo used to, and then essentially developers could like come to them and have their game on the console and not have to worry about producing their own cartridges or anything like that. I don't know how it works right now with like physical media. I guess you have to go through it straight through Sony or straight through Nintendo. I suppose they're the ones that are providing all the carts. But if somebody else did something like that, just for indie developers, just for small titles, you know, like 2D games essentially, up to the like PlayStation era, games that are only going to be a couple of gigs, and then your actual like your physical media would only have to be like maybe 20 some gigs tops, like, and you could have some pretty big games and just make it affordable, dude. And just have a few dev companies that are really focused on making games for like kids, you know, like making stupid games like Duck Game, dude. That's the kind of shit that Gen Alpha and Gen Z like. They like these stupid little cheap versus games and shit like that that are just goofy, like meme games essentially. And the shit's so cheap to produce. You could easily have a little console like that and whatever. Like, I think it'd be a cool idea. Maybe I'll do it. But I don't think that all retro games are gonna blow up in price. I think it's just some PS3 games. All right, moving on. I'm gonna talk about how I feel about the Switch 2 a little bit. So I already showed you two titles that I have for the Switch 2. And that was Daemon X and Guardians of Azuma. You know, obviously I have Star Fox. I believe on my last live stream I talked about that. I have Bravely Default. I got this for $20. I didn't want to buy any game key cards, but my brother like sent me a link. It was on sale for $20. I never beat this game back in the day because I hated how the end of it had you repeatedly going to the same world over and over again, and you could optionally refight all the bosses, but you didn't really get anything for it. And I was like doing it anyway, and I felt like I had to do it instead of going and finishing the game, and then I just never finished the game. It was really fucking stupid. So this time around I'm gonna play through it, but I got it for $20, so I'm just like, whatever. Probably be the only key card game I own unless I get another one for $20. Then I got Kirby Air Riders, and then I bought the extension version for Kirby in the Forgotten Realm and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I didn't get Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I don't care, because Xenoblade and Xenoblade Chronicles 3, those upgrades weren't worth it, in my opinion. I'm not going to play back through those games for the stupid upgrades. It's just a fucking tech demo novelty. Like, oh, look, now the Switch lets it not look like ass, basically. Don't care. Don't give a shit. That stuff's kind of disappointing. Like, to be honest, everything... The fact that the Switch 2 did exactly what the PS4 and PS5 did in terms of, like, the transition, where it's just all this... There's, like, so many games that they show it to you as the Switch 2 version, and it's like, what does this even mean? Like, why, like... Is it taking advantage of the computational power of the Switch 2? There's like different versions of, like, oh, I can get Dragon Quest as a key card for the Switch 2 version, or I could just get the Switch version. And I thought they were talking about at the beginning how like regular Switch games run better on the Switch 2. Wouldn't that mean that if I got the Switch version and it was actually on the cart, that it would run just fine? Better than it would have on the original Switch, but not as good as Switch 2. Like, see how stupid it all sounds? It's all so fucking stupid. And like, I'm finding myself continuing to buy Switch games physically for the Switch 2. And so far I've got 4 actual physical games for the Switch 2. And the other games basically just, it's DLC for games I already owned. Graphical DLC for games I already owned. Like, I will say I do like the Switch 2 hardware. It's nice, the feel of it, the controller, the console itself, playing it in handheld mode. I like all of that stuff. But the limitations are still like obvious though. Like, it's obviously not comparable to the PS5. And you can tell that right away from playing a game like Daemon X Machina. Like, I've had that game crash on me twice. And there are points where the frame rate's dropping into the single digits and on the verge of crashing. Some of the textures in the game are fucking atrocious. Like, just big blurry blobs or just like the texture for like tree leaves. And even if you get close, like, it doesn't matter the draw distance. Like, it looks fine from far away, but once you get close, you realize it just like, it never changes. The texture never changes. It doesn't load a new texture. It's not one of those things like, you know, you're playing Xenoblade Chronicles, like you're far away. You'll get kind of a blurred version of the texture, and then as you get closer, there's a moment where the texture just kind of loads in suddenly. Yeah, not the case with Daemon X Machina. The game looks good in some ways, and it just doesn't look great. Not only that, it's like kind of jank if it starts moving a little too fast. But it's okay, it's not like unplayable. It's just like noticeably runs much worse. And something I don't know if I noticed that it had this issue in the PS5, but like, if you open the menu, when there's any kind of a sound effect going on, that sound effect will just continue to go while you're in the menu until you come out. Like, for instance, if you're like using your booster, then you open the menu, the booster sound effect will just keep going while you're in the menu. And then when you come out, the booster sound effect will stop when you like stop. Or like any kind of movement. Or if you're like shooting a gun, the shooting sound will continue while you're in the menu. Just weird little things like that is kind of strange to me, but like, whatever. It's not game breaking. I can't remember if the PS5 had that issue, but I do recall it running much smoother on the PS5. Guardians of Azuma or Azuma also kind of has some stutter issues, some pop-in, frame rate dips when there's a lot of enemies, or if you're running around an area that you've completely constructed and there's like lots of buildings that you put there. I don't mind. None of this shit bothers me. I was never bothered by the Switch's graphical. If anything, I was like impressed by the Switch's graphics just because of like what it was, you know. And the same goes for the Switch 2. It's like much better graphics and it can do a lot more, but not crazy impressive. I just hope that we start seeing more discs or more cartridges for different sizes. Like, I always watch Spawnwave, and he's mentioned a couple of times that there's supposed to be more variable size carts coming along. I'm just hoping that the Switch 2 will have more non-key card games that I can bolster my collection for, because like, I don't know, there's probably maybe a couple more PS5 games I'll end up buying before, you know, like I guess if there are games that tickle my fancy and I want something that wanted to run decent, I might still buy it for the PS5, but by and large, I think all my remaining physical purchases are going to be on the Switch 2, and then I'm going to move them over to the Evercade, so yeah. We'll see. It's like I might just be done with modern gaming outside of the Switch 2. Like, Armored Core is the only thing. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, I feel good about the Switch 2. I feel better about the Switch 2 than I do about the PS6. I'm looking forward to like having the Switch 2 until I'm almost 50. And hopefully I got a nice collection of at least like 40 games for it by then. We'll see though. I'm fine with not really having to like keep track of or purchasing like any more AAA titles going forward. Like, just playing Nintendo exclusives, that'll be enough for me to stay happy. Not to mention plenty of JRPGs are going to come out for the Switch 2, like Final Fantasy. If any new Final Fantasies come out, you know Square's going to put them on the Switch 2. They're going to build them from the ground up there if they have half a brain. So I'm looking forward to a long and healthy life for the Switch 2, hopefully devoid of key cards if at all possible. Yeah, so I mean, if I had to like give a grade, I would say as far as the Switch 2, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 so far, only because of Star Fox, Guardians of Azuma, and Daemon X Machina. Because I will say, I do really like Daemon X Machina. For as janky as that game is, I really do like it. It's there we go. I'm having a lot of fun with Daemon X Machina. I was a little bit disappointed at first that I wasn't like able to pilot a mecha in like an open world game, but I'm happy with just the power armor. You can zip around, fly around pretty quick. The builds are really varied. The game plays like Iron Man, Diablo, basically. Lots of RNG, item drops, shit like that. I saw some people whining, like there's some vehicles in the game, which is cool. It's cool that they let you have vehicles. It's better than no vehicles, I guess. It's a novelty, right? And I was just playing a segment that was a huge pain in the ass because somebody was complaining online about how, like, if you hit the smallest fucking pebble, you fly off of your bike, which is true. But at one point, you have to do a quest where you actually have to race Ash, one of the other characters. And dude, it's a pain in the ass. You do get a new bike for it, like a ridiculously fast bike that is just even more outrageous to control than the original one if you've enhanced it. Which reminds me, I gotta see if I can enhance this new bike now that I have it. I wonder if it'll unlock the ability to enhance it. Yeah, but the race was fucking awful. And I'll give advice to anybody who watches this video. If you're playing through Daemon X and you're trying to beat this race against Ash, just tap on the accelerator. Like, don't try to fucking go balls out the entire time. Just like accelerate when you know you can, and focus on just staying on the road otherwise. Like, you don't have to be super fast to beat the dude. That's all I'll say about that. All right, I'm gonna try to keep moving, try to wrap things up here because I don't even know. Try to take a look at how long I've been going for here. Let's see. Try to take a look at I'm going for 85 minutes already? God damn. All right, well, that's cool. I didn't even feel like it. Time flies, man. Okay, moving on. Anime. From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. I've been watching this anime on Prime. It's kind of the only anime that I've been really keeping up with, besides just like watching old shit that I like, or finishing old shit that I never got around to finishing back in the day because I couldn't get my hands on it. I really like this anime, despite the fact that it's like obviously like a harem anime. But the premise is like, essentially it's in the stupid ass title. It's an old country bumpkin who is a sword teacher, and basically he's like reached the age of 40, my age. And he's just teaching swordsmanship in his village, and his dad basically tells him like, yo, you got to go to the big city. You need to find a wife. You're getting old. Get the fuck out of here and make a life for yourself. Like, you can't just stay here and be the teacher forever. So he ends up going to the city and reuniting with some of his old students, which surprisingly, like, almost all of his old students are females, of course. But when he leaves, like, one of his male students takes over, who's like a successful adventurer. He takes over as the sword teacher in the Old Country Bumpkins town. So maybe since I'm talking about that now, I can bring up something pertinent, you see. Old Country Bumpkin trailer. There we go. All right. I'll just, yeah, here we go. Oopsies. There it is. So yeah. He goes to the city because he basically gets offered a job to be the sword trainer for the Knights Guard in the capital, and he takes the job, and it turns out that like one of his former students is the head of the Knights Guard, and then all of his other students are just dispersed throughout this city holding various positions. One of them's an adventurer that's of some renown. Another one of them has become one of the first sword sorcerers at the Magic Academy. Yeah. One of the things that stuck out about this anime when it initially came out is like, there's a lot of detail to the sword play, like, and there's a lot of actual like realism to it in terms of like, actual sword play. So like that aspect of it is very technical, which a lot of people who are super into swords and sword play, that aspect of the anime, I guess, really speaks to that side of the hobby. So the first season's over. We're into the second season, and it's good. It's a good anime. It's the harem side of it is a little bit bothersome. It gets kind of tired because it's like all these girls are in love with him, and they're like half his age, and he's kind of naive about it, or like just chooses to believe that they, you know, because like he doesn't act inappropriately, but he just completely just does not even perceive their advances because it's so outside the realm of being an option for him, which I don't even know. If he does end up with with one of these characters, it's not going to be any of them. I imagine it's going to be like a woman that's closer to his age, maybe. I don't know. Who knows if he even ever ends up having a wife? Who knows? I don't know. I do like it so far, though. Like the latest episode, it's like swords and sorcery, basically. He's not a magician, but he's a master swordsman. He ends up fighting some cool monsters. He fights like a griffin at one point. He fights like a boar king. He fights goblins. Like, it's pretty cool. The enemies, the combat is very cool. They do a good job of kind of like working the CG and shit into the anime seamlessly in a way that's probably not going to piss fans off too much, right? I do like it. It's kind of the main anime that I'm watching right now weekly. The only other anime I've been watching much of, I watched the first episode of the new Ghost in the Shell, and I didn't mind it. It's much goofier than the original Ghost in the Shell. More along the lines of like the PS1 video game, what those cutscenes were like, because it was quite a bit more goofy in that game. Which, as I understand it, that's a little closer to the manga. The manga was a little more light-hearted, I guess, which is cool. It's great. I don't know how much I like that personally, but I'm gonna have to watch a few more episodes to see how I feel about it, because the first episode was kind of crazy. It was all over the place. I might have to rewatch it to get a good idea, because their team, the way their team was assembled, it wasn't really clear. It was pretty wild. It was all over the place. But yeah, Ghost in the Shell. I have to keep checking it out. I do recommend Old Country Bumpkin. Ghost in the Shell, I don't know if I recommend it yet. I'm going to check it out. I'll let you guys know. One thing, Ninja Scroll 4K coming in October. Just a heads up. Ninja Scroll's coming back to theaters. Just like Transformers is coming back to theaters. The original Transformers. So we got Ninja Scroll and Transformers coming. Hopefully in theaters near us. What else do we have going on here? Oh yeah. Anime physical disc crossover. Sony owns Crunchyroll. So, not only are we losing all of our physical video game media, we're going to lose all of our anime Blu-rays. And me personally, I don't really collect anime figures. I mean, I have figurines and shit like that, you know, like some little doodads and trinkets such, but not like a ton of I don't like collect the Gunpla and shit like that, or the waifu pillows, or anything. I just collect Blu-rays and Steelbook Blu-rays and DVDs. So double whammy, guys. Like, we're gonna lose all of our fucking physical anime media as well, which is a real fucking bummer to me. So keep that in mind. Let's see, Movie Corner, talk shit about recent garbage. Yeah, I don't give a shit about any movies coming out. I don't give a shit about Spider-Man. I don't care about X-Men. I don't give a shit about any of that crap. I wish it would all go away, to be honest. I just don't want to hear about it anymore. I wish like some of my more favorite YouTubers had something else to talk about besides all that trash. What am I playing? Well, you guys know I'm playing Daemon X Machina, Guardians of Azuma. I'm highly enjoying both of them. Despite its flaws, Daemon X Machina is awesome. Awesome music, awesome graphics, despite some flaws. I mean, like, your character still looks fucking sick. The combat's cool. Running around for the most part looks good. Just some of the textures are fucked up. That's about it. The frame rate dips occasionally, but I don't mind. Guardians of Azuma plays great. Love it. Let's see, I've been playing As Your Dreams on the Game Boy Color. I actually beat it. I rolled the credits. Now I'm making my way down to the 100th floor. I've already trained and maxed out the stats for 5 of my monsters, my Taemons. I could probably get down to the bottom and win, but I'm maxing out this Phoenix Taemon for funsies. And then I'll probably make it to the bottom and win. And I've also been playing Mega Man Extreme 2. I love Mega Man Extreme 1 and 2. I have them both physically for the Game Boy Color. Funny thing is, I've been kind of savoring them. I bought them like, it's been well over a year now. Beat the first one, and I've just been like taking my, there's so many games I take my sweet time with, which, like, speaking of, like, As Your Dreams, the original As Your Dreams, it's like I never beat that game because I never wanted it to be over, even from when I was a childhood. There's just such a vibe to it. Like, I fucking love that game. But once I finish it on the Game Boy Color, I need to, for realsies, finish it once and for all. And I might just end up finishing it on my PS3. Maybe I'll stream some of that because I have a playthrough right now that I'm like maybe a third of the way through in, but I might restart it. I might just restart it and play through it on the Superstation because that would be a fun one to stream, honestly. I would really enjoy streaming that one. So I think I might just start over and do that one. Okay. I finished by, and I can turn off my old country bumpkin. Yeah, so I finished by, and a lot of people would think that, like, probably think this game blows, and just like a lot of people think Kingsfield blows. But you know what? I fucking love Vi, man. And granted, the game's like hard as fuck, and you have to grind like crazy, and some of that shit's a pain in the ass towards the end of the game. But the cutscenes are sick. The dungeons they're well designed. And I'm gonna be real, man. The cover art goes hard. It goes hard, man. It looks great on the shelf. It looks really fucking cool, man. Like, and this game just is the quintessence of, like, even though it came out in the 90s, is like 90, what? Shit, 93, 94, 93, 94. Even though it came out in the 90s, the game just like feels like the 80s, you know? Because of the fucking FMV quality being all grainy and shitty, and like the quality of the voice acting and shit. I fucking love it. Because what makes that game great is the vibes, man. It's the vibes. The monsters have hilarious names. The music makes it worthwhile on its own. The music is fucking incredible for the game. It's completely unique, absolutely unique vibe. I love it. Great fucking game. And for me lately, like, a lot of games, like, if they have a good vibe, that's kind of all I need, you know? Like, it doesn't have to be an awesome game if, like, the vibes are good. Like, so many games, the music is enough to carry it, you know? Like, for instance, like, the music, the graphics, the feels, the vibes, like, Secret of Mana, dude. Like, that game is technically a huge pile of shit. Like, the hitboxes are a mess. When you hit an enemy and they become, like, invincible for, like, 3 seconds while their animation to get back up happens, and you're just swinging on them and swinging on them and swinging on them, no damage, and then as soon as they're back up, they instantly get hit again and fall back down again. Like, it's a fucking mess. But guess what? Graphics are great for that game. Music's amazing for that game. The vibes, the sound effects, the feel, the menus, everything's awesome. Just the magic and the hitboxes are completely fucked. But it's still a timeless classic. Just like, for instance, like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. 80% of the items in that game are fucking useless. and I might be, I could be, maybe I'm being generous. 80% of the items in that game are fucking useless. Symphony of the Night. All the familiars are pretty much fucking useless. The game is easy, not hard. You can beat the entire first map with the jeweled knuckles once you get your hands on them. And the Upside Down Castle, I don't know, man. If you're good at casting Soul Steel, you pretty much can beat the whole game. Like, I could see the game being maybe a little bit challenging for a newcomer. Maybe. Anyway, most of the items are useless in that game. My point is, huge flaws, but the vibes, man. The vibes. Or the Riz, let's say, that Symphony of the Night has, makes it timeless. So, like, all the shit that's wrong with it doesn't really matter. But the reality is like, 80% of the fucking equipment in that game, most of the shit didn't matter. Most of the spells were pointless. Most of the armor, most of it was pointless. Just gimmicky bullshit. Didn't matter. And the same goes, yeah, Vi. It's the music, the vibe, the graphics that carry it, I think. Just the feelings and the packaging, for sure. Working design always had a... Let's see here. I've been playing Dark Wizard. Yeah, so I've been playing Link's Awakening. On the 8th dungeon. I'm on the last dungeon. I like Link's Awakening. It's a good game. But I think I like the original better. I really do. Because, like, I'm more impressed with what they were able to do on the original Game Boy, and just the way the graphics look on the original Game Boy. I like the vibes, the graphics, the feel of it, the look of it. I love that it's on the original Game Boy, man, because I have the original Link's Awakening on the original Game Boy. I also have the little Link's Awakening remake Game & Watch that they put out. I've been actually playing that lately alongside of Link's Awakening. And I have Link's Awakening DX for the Game Boy Color, which I'm going to play through that. I'm going to play through every version just for funsies. Who knows? Maybe if I get a wild hair up my ass, I'll capture some footage of each one and put a video on. Just talk about how I feel about them, talk about the differences. Maybe if I ever want to start getting crazy with my editing and shite. We'll see. But I am really enjoying Link's Awakening. I've been playing it on my Switch Lite, which is funny because I still use my Switch Lite all the fucking time. I just kind of like have designated it into my handheld Switch, of course. But certain games, I'll just choose. I just choose them to be handheld because they make sense. Like Link's Awakening, I'm just playing through that predominantly on the Switch Lite because it was originally a handheld game. I've been playing through Code of Princess, DX or EX or whatever, on the Switch, and I've been playing through that handheld on the Switch Lite since the original Code of Princess was on the 3DS. So I've been playing that handheld. I've been playing Lunar handheld just because, like, I don't know, I get a kick out some of the games. I'm just transferring whatever games. It's cool using the virtual cards because it's like stuff I want to play on the TV or whatever the hell. I play it on my Switch too, but other games, I'm just kind of designating them as handheld games that I'm only playing handheld, and I'm kind of having a blast with it. Plus, the Switch 2 is still, or the Switch Lite is still awesome because it's the most portable Switch, and I imagine I'll hold on to it and keep using it for a long time to come. Let's see, recent pickups here too. So I already showed you guys R-Type Delta. Fucking love this game. Working on beating it again. It's tough. I beat it back in the day. This shit's awesome. Recent drop, Operation Night Strikers, dude. It uses the gyroscope function of the Joy-Cons, man. So, like, awesome for arcade style light gun shooters. fucking phenomenal, great fun, awesome fucking game, totally worth it. It came... Oh my god. Woo! Dropping shit. Yeah, it came in like a collector's edition with like a book and a map and a CD and all that jazz. I actually wasn't... It's the Assault edition. I wasn't expecting all that crap to come with it, so I was kind of pleasantly surprised. I picked up Crash Bandicoot Collection for $20 because fucking why not? $20, dude. And those games are classic, dog. So those are a few Switch pickups that I'm pretty pumped about. And then going on to my Sega Saturn, picked up Robotica, which is a cool mystery dungeon, first-person fucking robot shoot 'em up. I like it. It's pretty sick. Picked up the Horde. Cool game for the Sega Saturn. It's like kind of like ActRaiser, God Simulator sort of, where you like build up, you have a certain amount of time to build up your city, and then the Horde comes and you have to defend it. And each level, whatever, your city gets bigger and bigger. And then I got Space Hulk. Awesome fucking game. Very cool. First person. Not truly an FPS because you do have to do some strategy stuff, but it's very cool because you can play the game kind of just like the board game, commanding your units, but you can play it very slow. Like they time you, but that's just to like rank you, you know? But you can like play it like a board game, and that aspect of it I think is very cool. Let's see. I think I showed you guys everything I had for the Switch 2, basically. Yeah, I had some more pickups that I'm not really thinking of right now since the last time I live streamed. Picked up Light Crusader, which is a fucking sick game on the Genesis. It plays a lot like the original Diablo. You're basically in a city, and beneath the city is like the dungeon. And as you progress each level, you unlock new teleporters, and you go back to town, sell your shit, teleport back down, and keep fighting. The only difference between that and Diablo is there's more puzzles in this game. Yeah. I also picked up Beyond Oasis, which was a cool find. I fixed up this Sega Genesis, which I was looking to sell it the last time I went to the game store, but it didn't work when they tested it. I was like, fuck. And then I realized I had this cool 6-button controller, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just have 2 Sega Genesis along with my other one over there that has the Sega CD connected to it. I got my Genesis 3 over there. I had 2 Genesis 3. I sold one though because I don't need that many. But yeah, I got 2 Sega Genesis. I'm really happy about this one for some fucking stupid reason. I don't know why. I usually feel more attached to a game console once I've like fixed it. Sad news, the Sega Nomad, my Sega Nomad that I upgraded the screen for and everything, it fucking died on me. Something died. So I got a set of replacement. I got replacement capacitors here. So I'm going to recap it. But I think that there's a power modulator. I think the power modulator might have died on it because I'm not getting any power. I went to purchase another power modulator. I got the wrong fucking part though. I'll have to buy another piece. I'll have to figure out which modulator I need and then purchase it. So that's the sad news about the old boy. Ooh, I also picked up Star Control, if any of you guys are ever familiar with that game. That's another classic, like, versus shmup on the Sega Genesis. Let's see here. Power modulator, I got the wrong one. All right. That is the pickups And all right, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I know this show was a little rushed, slightly less nuanced than I would have liked. I didn't even realize that state of play was just about Katana Zero, which I don't give a shit about. Whatever. It worked out because it lit a fire under my ass and got me to live stream. So, yeah. I know nobody watched. I don't give a shit. This is just for me anyway. It's for my own entertainment. And I will say, though, if anybody watches after the fact, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking me out. Leave a sub and a like if you can. Maybe even share it if you feel like it. I'll probably cut this up and do a couple of shorts if I can, maybe just talking a little bit about the Sony aspect, thing like that. I'm trying to come up with a standardized format. What I want to do, the way I want to do it is I want to like with the way that I did it today, I'm just going to kind of walk through what I did, okay, for my own purposes. So this is kind of the format of the show, the way I want to do it going forward. I want to do like introduction, say what's up, and then like preview essentially what the show's going to be about that day. And then the after intro, I'll go into whatever my first topic is, and then whatever the follow-up to that topic is, or just discussing the significance of it or where we're going from there. And then after that, go on to the next topic and go on to cover whatever was going on that week, whatever string of topics, whatever review, whatever items maybe that I just acquired. And then after I complete my topics, so opening topics, and then I'll go on to anime, cover anime for the week and stuff like that. And then I'll go on to cover movies and stuff if there's any movies that interest me during the week. And then I'll go on to what I'm playing, pickups, and outro. And that's going to be the format for now until I I'm able to come up with something a little more entertaining. I'm going to tweak that format, but I just need better structure for the show as it stands. Because before, the way that I've been doing it is I've just had tabs, and I just kind of work my way through all the tabs until the show's over. And I think that I'm still going to do that, but I want to have a structure to it. And then I'm going to set up my tabs under each of those topics. So whatever my topics are, I'll have a tab. So there's at least some random video, even if it is random, whatever. I can cycle some video in the corner on loop while I'm talking about the topic that I'm covering. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for tonight. I'm going to kill the live stream. But now that my work is like a little more streamlined and I only have to worry about work the days that I'm working, I should be able to stream at least every Sunday. And then hopefully if I'm only working 4 days a week, I'm going to stream like twice a week. I'm going to try to start streaming twice a week. But for now, I'm going to go for going once a week. Every Sunday, I'm going to cover the topics that interest me that week. And then hopefully eventually streaming twice a week, I can do one stream where I'm just chit-chatting, and then the other stream can be me actually playing a game. So yeah. In any case, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to hit my little outro here, and I will catch you all on the flip side.